built up. Remember I said in ROTC, you're built up? Okay, so we were told, you're going to be an officer. Okay, and you're going to do this. Okay, and then you get in and find out that, oh, by the way, you can qualify for food stamps. I'm like, what? I'm an officer. I'm being paid as an officer. I qualify for food stamps. I went 6 months without a day off, but I qualified for food stamps. Now, I never took food stamps, but there was a lot. The pay was so low. Now it's going to sound even lower than what it actually was. I brought home $250 every 2 weeks. That's what we had to live on. Okay. Now we didn't have to pay for housing. We lived on the base. We did have to pay. We didn't have to pay for electricity. What we did have to pay for was the car and insurance and telephone. You had to have cable. The reason you had to have cable is because they used that to notify you. So if there was something going to happen, they would break in to notify the airbase that something was happening. And then anything else, like food, uniforms. I had to have a uniform for, it's called mess dress, and my uniform was only worn with, because I was an officer, I had to have this. It was the equivalent of a tux, kind of the female version of a tux. It was a long black skirt with a jacket. It cost me over $300 to have that made. Okay. I'm only bringing home $250 every 2 weeks, or twice a month, and I had to have one of those. I had to buy my own uniform, and so you're working, all these days, and you had to go in uniform. You had to be dressed for it. Enlisted had their uniforms given to them. Okay. So it was really an eye-opening experience, and you go, I don't feel like I'm being built up. I was built up that I was going to be this, and I'm like, this is what I expected. It was really shocking. Now, that's not why I tried to get out. I was like, okay, you signed up for this, you need to do it. Miraculously, somehow, with my husband working 180 miles apart, I became pregnant with our first daughter. I petitioned for it to get out, and I'm the first woman. I was one of the first women to get an ROTC scholarship. I'm the first person to ask for a discharge from the Air Force. Let's back up. I'm the first person to ask to graduate from college early on an ROTC scholarship. They didn't think that was possible. I'm like, but I finished all my requirements. Okay, but you're supposed to stay here 4 years. Okay, but I don't need the last term. I'm turning back money. And I'm like, well, I don't know. This may not go through. So it did. And then it came back when I was pregnant with my daughter. I petitioned to get out on a maternity discharge, which was commonplace. I'm the first person ever to be turned down. And I was turned down because I was deemed too vital to the Air Force. And so I'm 7 months pregnant, packing up my house thinking I'm getting out any time, and then was notified that, no, you're turned down. I'm like, what? So I called and spoke to the person who had started the whole thing. It made me feel good. It went up to the Secretary of the Air Force. But thanks. So who's going to take care of my baby? And I'm like,